It's not looking good. Uh, a little bit scared right now that we might be about to do a very large flush in the market. We're seeing the prime book yesterday down to where it only took $1.3 million to move the market 1 point. Epically low, record low. And this is there's a serious liquidity problem. And I don't know why nobody's addressing the liquidity, the powers that be that could help liquidity. Instead, they're doubling down on everything. And we saw prime book liquidations yesterday, long only. Prime book long only liquidations was the majority of the traffic coming across the JP Morgan's desk yesterday. This is really, really, really dangerous for the market. I just posted a couple charts. I think I posted a couple charts. Yeah, posted a couple charts into Discord. I'll pull one of them. I'll probably pull both of them up here and see if I can't. I want to discuss because it's way easier to discuss what I already drew than it is to redraw it all. And make it a little smaller here. So we have a potential overnight. We made a little bit lower low right there. Potentially going, adding to this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I said something was weird right here. It didn't look right. Didn't make that awesome oscillator work right. Well, that overnight kind of fixed that right there. And we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inside for the 3, 4, 5. It took a little longer. Then we have an A potential, a B potential. And if we rally today, right here, watch out to stop right around that 50.88 level. This is ES. All right, this is just using the micro ES because if I accidentally click the button, I like to be on the micro, not on the major one. And this is a live trading platform. I can click on the screen and place a trade, and I tend to keep it on the micro just in case, so I don't mess myself up. Now, wave 3 today, if we get to that level and we turn down, here's the level, 4,400. Wave 4, potentially take us up here, and wave 5, 4,200. These are S&P ES, S&P 500, future numbers right here. So the actual cash index will be lower than this. When I predicted below 4,000 before we go above 7, I did not think we would do this in the first potential 4 months of the year. This is a potential big flush. And it's set up on the chart right now. If we complete that and turn down, this can get going. It can be vicious today. I mean, this can be a serious flush out in the market. It's a 600-point potential drop, and it could happen today. Not even joking around. Like, this is, 100% serious right now that this could happen today. Be freaking careful, all right? Really, really, this is developed and got me like really concerned here. So we could see a crash situation in the market today. Like this could be pretty ugly. Pretty ugly. Now the other chart, a little less dire, but still equally kind of nerve-wracking here. Let me pull this one up. Pull it over, grab it. Trying to grab it, pop it in here. Right here. It looks like a holy gold trade. Look, that's 5 down. 1, 2, 3 up. B wave. C wave. Look at that, 2,800. Just like I said. Setting up for a almost $300 flush in gold. Right there. Very serious. Got to be careful. What if we see a liquidate everything type event? Just like we saw in COVID, liquidate everything. There was nothing safe. This could be what we see today. I was in and out of VIX yesterday, made like almost basically tripled my money yesterday. This could be another opportunity for that right here. If we do this, which VIX option? You would play VIX straight, go to the monthly, it's next week, I think, and buy like right at the money. One, 2, 3. That'd be the 18th next week. Probably the 17th because VIX is weird. That's what I'm looking at right now. Would you play what I play? I'd play options on VIX. Probably going to play some shorts on XSP, maybe SPX, possibly the futures, but they're pricing me out of the futures right now. The margins are freaking crazy. If you've not played margins before or played futures before, they ramp the margins up when the market makers and when the powers that be aren't sure what's about to happen. They're epically the market's running scared, just like what happened in COVID. And this is set up in the chart right now. It's set up right here. Could happen today, maybe happen tomorrow, but probably today if we're going to do it. All those tariffs kicking into action today. We're seeing just epic de-risking, deleveraging. Something might break in the market. This could be even worse. I mean, these numbers could, like, we could be in the 3,000s today. Now it'll probably kick. The breakers will probably kick. They may shut down the market today if we do this. And this may prolong into tomorrow. That's what we saw during COVID. If we trip breakers in here, shut down the market for the day. So there you go. Can I be specific? That is pretty specific. There's the levels right there. There you go. Can I tell you what to trade? Absolutely not. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance, not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, hopefully entertaining. Not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instrument, so don't buy anything. Don't trade anything, period. All right, I'm not telling you to buy stocks, telling you to buy options, Forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries, bonds. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. Don't trade VIX. Don't trade S&P. Don't trade anything. So what Discord channel is it? It's the main Trader Talk channel that's open to everybody. I didn't hide anything from anybody. I've been posting pretty much everything I'm doing out to the public. Hadn't been hiding in the Term Trading Lab group or anything like that. All the things I've been doing that I don't feel like, there are some things I do that I don't want people to copy. But there you go. They're right there. This could get ugly. I posted it right there. All right. 2 p.m. today. I don't know that this matters very much at all. 2 p.m. today. Get on the right week. We have FOMC minutes right there. We had Trump speaking last night. Saw further flush, but not really much happening. I didn't pay attention. I was at a birthday party. Tomorrow, 8:30, before the market opens, we got these inflation numbers. I don't know if it'll matter. I mean, they're forecasting a tick up right there. I don't know. Tick down on year over year. But what if it ticks up? We're seeing the rates actually going higher. Like this is the problem. Everybody's dumping treasuries. The rates are going higher. All right, the effect of driving people into government bonds is not happening. They're dumping treasuries. The rates are going higher. This is causing a problem. All right, the plan to tank the market and force Jerome Powell to cut rates is not happening. This went from 3.8. I mean, we've gone up almost a whole percentage point in a few days. 3.87, and we're getting up. That was 4.5. We're just points, just basis points away from getting to a whole percentage point rise in a couple days. And funny enough, I drew this back here. Look at that. However long ago that was, I drew it right there. And now it's coming true. This is getting crazy. We can see this thing shoot all the way up here. Yeah, we'd have to go back in time and figure out when I said this. It was probably, we probably hadn't topped out yet. It was probably sometime back in December when I drew this. I always get the timing wrong. Time is the hardest part of predicting how this goes. It's like that crash thing I was drawing there a minute ago. This might not happen today. This C leg could prolong into tomorrow. I don't know. Could be late today when we're up here and we start this and then we continue it in tomorrow or overnight. Remember, there's no circuit breakers overnight. Like they don't shut the market down overnight. So if we get a big flush out, this could be the global reset they were talking about, just not going the way that everybody thought was going to happen. New world order on global finances. So I caution everybody. This is a very dangerous situation that things have developed into. And it didn't matter who was going to be the president. This was going to happen. The way it unfolded probably differed between, who won the presidency. But as I outlined last summer, I was talking about June, July. I've been talking about it since sometime last June. And those that have been here, you can pipe up in the chat that this isn't new news. We knew this was going to unfold. I didn't know exactly what. I told you, I didn't know exactly what's going to unfold. And one of my clients was in the office saying, well, you got it wrong. You said this was going to be the problem. I was like, hey, I was speculating on what the problems are. I never know exactly which. It's all built on a house of cards, right? We got house of cards. You never know which card they're going to pull out and the whole thing's going to collapse. So thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for coming. Interact with the video. If I say anything that's helpful, beneficial to other people that you know, share it, please. Just start to break out, and we may see this do some sort of epic move higher. That's US 10-year, US 02-year. Seeing it be a little bit chaotic, not dumping off, not popping, chasing. So we're seeing some flight to that 2-year. And seeing the 20-year popping. There is some definite monkey business going on. In the bonds. These bonds don't typically move giant, fast moves. So you see this has been in a range for years. And if we break out, this could be pretty wild. Yeah. We've got absolute fear in the market. That's what, as Goose is right in the chat there, this is absolute fear. And this is fear from long only the stability, the things that are the stability in the market. We're seeing this go crazy. We're down to 3 on fear and greed. Right there. So this is CNN's fear and greed. We're seeing extreme fear, and this is probably going to continue. We are seeing a mass liquidation in the markets. This kind of thing. This was the long onlys I was talking about. Long only kind of liquidation thing. Where we were up here and we rallied up and then dumped out. I do have a 144 put sold out to Friday. We'll see what happens. I might get to own some shares at $144 a share. Checking in on our other play. Check it out. It's good. Cha-ching. We didn't dump out. So congratulations to anybody that took that play with me for the 27s. There's the market open. Looks like those are going to go out full profit. 1% profit, not too shabby based on risk in a couple days. Literally, we got it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're out. We can be out today. So close the put. Look at that. Baidu flushing. China is buying their own stock market to try to play the game with Trump. Their market is experiencing the biggest flush out they've ever had, and their government is buying their own stock market. This is a essentially Game of Thrones worldwide in the financial markets right now. Remember, over 50% of America owns like 0.7% of the market. That's the bottom 50% owns like 0.7% of stocks. So they're not really going to feel this pain at all. They're already feeling the pain. They've been in the recession for 3 years. The economic recession that we've been in, where jobs and all this stuff just hasn't been paying. And now we're seeing the rest of everything catch up. Massive destruction of wealth. This is going lower low. And right now this looks like we could be down here somewhere. We might even get down to this level right here on this next flush. 4,100, quite possible. I kind of outlined it there. I mean, this is what I'm looking for. Rally up to this 5088 level on ES. That's the S&P 500 futures. If you're not even familiar with that, ES1 exclamation point. These trade basically 23 hours a day, 6 days a week. This is how the news always knows where the market's going to open and all that sort of stuff. So we're looking at this right here, a potential pop up into that area, and then potential flush right there. Not far away. More shenanigans. In Q, same sort of situation. Be like, how do you figure it out? Here's the first move up. Here's the retrace. Next move up, 17,620. First move down, the retrace. Next move down, potentially to 15,123 right here. Right there. That'll be the wave 3. That's a wave 1, a 2, and a 3. Russell right here, same sort of situation. There's the move up, the retrace. Looking for that pop up in about 1789. Could go up to 1800. 1800. And then next move down. So first move down, the retrace. Next move down. Could put us down here at 1500. And that's a number that I've been talking about for a while. 1500. So we might do the whole big flush now. Like this is looking like we're just going to do the whole big flush and bounce, and then possibly get down to that 1300, 14, 13. Yeah, 13 would be the next target down for me. Right down there, the big target. If we bounce up, right there. Oh man, this is absolute wild when I look at this stuff. So this will blow your mind. If we get down to 550 on oil, which we're darn near, I mean, we got the 55 overnight so far. If this flushes on down to 50, a hot war with Iran may kick off and push this up to new highs. Talking about a move up here in the 130 to 150 area. right like that, right in the face of all this other stuff flushing out. Stuff's, it's so creepy. It's showing up in the charts like this. I mean, I've had these targets on here for months and months and months, and now it's all happening, and it's happening like way faster than I would have expected. So gold, I've had this drawn on there for a few days. I thought we would go a little bit lower before we bounced. Looks like we're doing the bounce now. If we hold that level, we're probably going down. There's your numbers. This is on, even though it says MGC, micro GC, regular GC, same price. And extensions down further to closer to 2800. You know, that 1272 right there, 2810. Right there, that's a common extension. 2810 puts us right in the target. Right there. Wow. Bitcoin, very concerned. We're holding so far. We get below that line. I'm not. The only thing with Bitcoin at this point is it's a hedge against the fiat system blowing out. The fiat system very well could collapse. It's I was talking to Goose about that the last couple of days. He's like, that's a problem I don't know how to comprehend. The global fiat system could simultaneously collapse here. Entirely possible. The house of cards of every central bank writing, creating debt and just inflating everything. This is the everything bubble. All right, this is back to, you may have heard people refer to the everything bubble. This is it. Let me see if I can get this chart. I can't do it on the daily. I have to do it on a, oh my gosh, can't even do it on a weekly. Got to take it off the log mode so you can see the epicness of this. This is what we're talking about. Look at where we were in that last correction. Look what we did. Guess where we might be coming back down to. We could only dream. I'm not. If you don't think this is going to happen, we're going to correct this back out. We're coming back down here. Whether it's now, it'll probably be like this. Somewhere in this low 1000s area. More than likely where we're coming. It could go faster than we went pretty fast up. Be pretty fast down. Probably going to last a little while before we're ever back to new highs. This could take 3 decades to work through. Doubt it all you want. It's okay. It's in the charts. I'm afraid that we're starting on the big down. We could come down to the monthly here pretty quickly. That's not that far below the numbers I was talking about earlier on the S&P chart here. We do the extensions, the 1618 extension, 3941. Look how close that is to 3600. So this is developing very quickly and looking worse. So there's still possibility we might bounce. I'm not seeing the reason why at the moment that we might. And this could be, we bounce up here and take a spill right down here. Yeah. Very, very cautious. Yeah, I got out of GME, so that one's off the list now. Not gonna watch it anymore. Got my dad back out of, as I told that story, he wanted to get into GME when it was all hyped up. I bought him a few shares. He rode through the split, and he was still underwater. I put a spread on the other day when the day after GME announced they were doing the Bitcoin buy thing, and made him all the money back plus some gravy. ASML, epic potential buy, rallying today, but we'll see. UVIX was popping. Now we're dropping a little bit. VERO. So I go pull everything moving $2 more up in the pre-market, put it on the list, $2 more down, put it on the decliners list down here, and we just look for opportunities, things to play. That's a reverse split. That's a dumpster fire. I would be very interested in this if we dip back off here. Yesterday when we were down at 40, I bought a 40, I don't even remember what I bought, 44, 45. It's like $1.87. I was like, what was crazy was even if you went the calls, even if you went $8 in the money, they were only $3 for something $8 in the money. I was like, what the fudge is going on with the pricing on VIX? I was like, this thing's about to pop. That's what the pricing is. So it's one of those, you got to be careful how you play it. But when you see something weird, it's just one of those opportunities that sometimes shows up in the market. Yeah, I bought a 45 VIX yesterday for $1.87. Closed it out at 345 for $6. So nice pop. This may come back down before we ramp up again. Be careful. This is getting hard to chart because there's not enough. This looks like yesterday it was like a 3-wave down. And then we have a 3-wave in here that may come down high or low, and then we shoot up again. Don't over leverage. Try to buy cheaper contracts. What do I mean by cheaper contracts? We can't even look at the VIX contracts on here. They don't have them on here. My finger's on the wrong keys. Still on the wrong keys. We don't have SPX options on here either. So no index options on here that I can talk about. Golly. And no, they don't have those options either. These options kind of nasty. They probably price you out for making any money. It's usually the way it works. UVXY during COVID got to the point where you couldn't play. Like, look at this. They've got it stacked. Look at those prices all the way up here. $10 for a $70 call. That's how they price you out. They raise the price all the way up the chain. No way to make money. Could it make a crazy move? It definitely could. Same on VXX. This will be priced out. They don't want you to play. They don't want you to buy those, especially if we're going to go higher again. That's why I switched to straight up VIX right here. They can't screw with the prices of this one. If you give me a second, I can load a broker and we can actually look at VIX prices. Don't give me a security code. Thank you. And Here we go. So what would I be playing? I'd probably be playing the one out next week, the monthly. These monthly ones are the ones that are more safe, kind of. You can play the weeklies, but there's less. There's more shenanigans that happen. See, these prices much better. Look at these calls. If we were to pop to 70, even at the money, $3 right there. If this dips back into the 44, 45 area, you can very easily pick this up. Now look at this. Going to the money. $5 in the money. $5. $10 in the money. $6. Wait a minute. That's weird. $10 in the money. $6. What is going on there? That's weird, right? Definitely weird. That's what I was seeing yesterday. $10 in the money, $6. Actually, it's $8 in the money, $6. Just weird. Even though they made a higher high, we may see this dip down around 44. There. And the potential to go up. All right. What else might we have? NKD. Come on. Daily. I'm hyped up. I'm excited. This is the kind of stuff I live for in the market. Love a wait for years, and then we get a big, fast moving market. I got caught unprepared, but I'm trying to rearrange everything. Potential for that to pop. Like I said, over last Friday, when we get below 5,000, I got decisions to make. I started dumping some stuff. A little bit of my leveraged Bitcoin BitX position. Flip that back into cash that I could use to fight this thing. Race, I didn't dump any more. Didn't dump any long-term stuff because we're not broken down below support. Just repurposing my leveraged cash. Ugly rallying, but watch for the reversal. GLD, watch for the reversal. Don't think this is going to pop out here. Be very, very careful. Lower high. This can be a 1-2 right here. Be very careful. That's a 618. We're already turning sour grapes here. Watch for that flush. I'm just telling you, like, this is a big warning. This one, we've got a little bit further to go to the 230 and possibly the 200 on the downside. Yeah, ultra short Russell. You could play that way if you wanted to. SPXS. Another way to play if you think that the S&P is going to dump off. It's a 3x leverage on the short. Just buy it. I just buy the shares here. If you're thinking we're gonna go down like this one will rock and roll. 3x leverage without buying options. Buy options on it, but they're probably pricing that out. Be willing to bet the options are priced stupid. And they're just not available. There's no options available. Cool. Yeah, they don't even have options above 10. Wow. You got 13 there, 15. Yeah, volatility. Implied volatility is insane. Can't even chart it. Look at that. 400%. 500. Yeah, 400. Wow. Crazy numbers. Crazy numbers. All right, everybody. Yeah, if there's no price, it's locking out. You know, they don't want you to play. I don't think there's much opportunity in poppers today. Toyota possibly bottoming. That'd be a gamble. If we do this global flush out, we could see this down here at 130 or even 110 on Toyota. Eli Lilly, stuff it's dropping. That's probably going to take another hit. Maybe down to 600. Amgen, not there yet. Costco, be careful. This may have been the first 2 moves. And we're about to take a trip down into the 750, maybe even 650 area. Right down here. Be careful on Costco. ISRG. That also looks like we're going to take a trip down to 400. Goldman Sachs is financial earnings coming up on Friday. Or that one's Monday. Most of the... We started them off on Friday with JP Morgan. Got Bank of America coming up on Tuesday. We got Wells Fargo coming up on Friday. So we got financials is going to kick off Friday, Monday, Tuesday. And if they're... Remember, all this stuff started in March. If they're staring down losses, it creates a gap down. Be careful. Be careful. Just depends on how they play it. Do they hide the potential? Golly, there's so much stuff on the decliners list already today. Some of it coming back green, like Spotify, holding it up really well. So far, pretty much unaffected by all the stuff going on. If we break back above that resistance, potentially look for upside right there. Some of the other ones I've been watching, DG, holding up really well. GES, back to new lows. That one breaking down. Bummer. That one's probably going to take a trip on down. It's a line in the sand area warning that it's not going to work at all. $6 right there. Looking for that to hold support and turn. That was a total gamble when I bought it. You know, that's why I only bought 100 shares. Not put $900 on it. XOM broke out of the channel. There's the downside. LABU. Well, that one's doing the breakdown. It's biotech with 3x leverage on it. PDD. It looks like we're going to flush on down. Baidu got the warning. We're flushing on down. Didn't do the bullish thing. Let's check out Alibaba. Back to the roadmap line. Hadn't broke down yet. C-Web. Ooh, back down to the lows. That looks like we're going to extend. First move down, retrace. Next move down, somewhere in this $19, $20 area. There. Z-Scaler. Watch for that to drop on down. PNW. Could be done. We could mount a rally from here. Resistance at the 618 level, which is not right there. It's actually down here. Right in there. The dust. 2x leverage on bearish miners. Reverse split. That's just getting crushed at the moment. Snow. Looking for this to hold this area through this carnage. If we can, we set up the potential rally up here to 300. If we flush to a new low, we'll reset everything. And I was actually kind of expecting a low in the 90s. We just didn't get the extension, the flush out extension I thought we would get. So we may see that on this drop here. Wow. Tools even starting to be choppy. TLT. A couple days ago, everybody was hyping bonds. This may come down to the target down here. Watch for the flush. There's different bonds. There's corporate bonds, treasury bonds. This is 20-year. Let's be careful. OKE, that I would stay away from. That's breaking down below support. Philip Morris, hey, holding up really well. But this may come back to the roadmap line before we can take another run. Let's see. See how this one's holding up. Oh, Victim of the tariffs going into the garbage. Usually we see alcohol holding up pretty well. So far, liquidating with everything else. D-Dog. Looking for this to hold in here and turn bullish. 230 upside. Zillow. Oh, broke down below the roadmap line, getting a bigger flush. This may... So looking at this move up, we might see Zillow come back to this area right here. 43. $42, $41. DXCM, oh, almost to the target. ADI. And that can break down and go much lower. MDB. That's cool. Start moving the... Got a target down here around 100. XLY. That's absolutely getting crushed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. So at this point, any rally, watch out for resistance at 211. This shoots up. We may see this take another leg down. That target at this point, assuming it reverses here, we see a target down here at 140. Carvana holding up pretty well. I jumped off of my short. But this is a setup to get a bigger flush, potentially. MS, looking for the low. Now, financials, they've all got this extension lower, and they all could reverse very quickly. That one's got financials on Friday, earnings on Friday. Crux is at the downside target. Can we turn it and burn it here? I don't know. That looks like 5 down, though, so I would be very cautious on a 3-wave retrace. And a resistance at this zone right here around 128. If we rally up in there, watch for the next leg down on Crux. Dollar Tree. Still hunting a low. It doesn't look as bottomed out as DG. DG already kind of turned to the bottom. This one looks like it might take another flush before we can turn. Right here. DG was reporting that they only get like 5% of their goods from China. Whereas Dollar Tree, I think that is the made in China store. So we're talking about Dollar General, DG. They were saying only if like 5% of the stuff they sell is made in China, holding up really well in the face of tariffs. Walmart, arguably half the store or more made in China, but holding up really well. Amazon, down to potential targets. That one on the non-log scale looks like we could be bottoming. We have potential to go down just a bit more to 144 area. And then the balance could be up to 300. This looks like a 5 up off of this low right here. This would be a 3-wave, very tight, fast 3-wave retrace, consistent with a wave 2. Larger upside potential on Amazon. Right there. See, Google, let's just go through Mag 7 stuff, hunt for any opportunity. Google breaking down, watch out, this can lead to a bigger flush. We could come back down to 100 pretty easily. Microsoft, well, fully hit the target area. This could form a bottom here, but it can also meet more liquidation. Started out on Apple. Don't expect us to go below here. I mean, we possibly could come down to 120, but yeah. Just depends on how the market liquidation comes apart. SOXX. Wow, that one's getting liquidated. SMH. And that can extend down to 160, which means NVIDIA. Still has downside potential. When I talked about this, everybody's like, how would it drop to that level? Well, we're almost there. Look at that. And we could go on down. AEM bouncing a little bit. 30 minutes. So Apple, Amazon, Mamanet, Meta. Support right down here, but be careful, as with everything else. If the liquidation gets crazy, this could liquidate further. I still believe this is going to be a double, triple. Just got to work through this. They're a money printing machine, but they may need to come back and retest the breakout. Just looking at the charts. It went like this. There's the high. There's the correction, low. We came up past the 1618, almost to the 272, and we're going to come back. Probably down into the breakout. Hold support in here and turn higher. So that's MAMA. Did N. Did Google. A. And T is Tesla. Looking for this to hold this box. If we get below this box, probably going to make a lower low than we made in 23. Down here. So if we get below that box, probably come down here. If we can hold that box, potential to go higher. That's Mom and Nat for you. T-Mobile, back to the roadmap line. And if we don't hold it, we could come back down pretty viciously. That looks a lot like a bubble pattern. We could be all the way back down to 160 here. Adobe still has further downside potential to 250. Restoration Hardware, tag the targets. I'd like to see that come back up in that area right there. Gonna needs to build off of that. Missed on the top, missed on the bottom, but they make money. Pretty solid company. Long term, they'll probably be just fine. Capital One, earnings coming up in 2 weeks. Big flush out. Let's see, Visa. Opportunity to bounce. MasterCard. Opportunity to bounce. Discover. Might have more downside. Although, that looks like 5 down. Be very careful here. 3-wave up may find resistance right here. And we may go down further. IBM. I made it to the roadmap line. Looking for that to hold. Hunting for opportunities. So, yeah, C Limited came down. This glanced off of that resistance right there. If we can find support here and turn back higher, we could bust through. CRWD, although it could collapse also. CRWD looks like we're going to go on a deeper retrace here. Could bounce. It's possible, but look better if we took a trip down to 237. The McDonald's holding up really well. May be able to shoot up here to 330. Nail. Yep. Anybody surprised there? That was the bubble pattern. We're almost back. We're almost down. So home builders might be working on the bottom here. DHI looks like it has further to go. Toll Brothers looks like it has a bit further to go. So we might take nail down to new lows. And let's see. Any other opportunities? Carvana, Dollar Tree. Carvana could come on down. BA. I really don't know here. We made a new low. So all the stuff we were looking at on the reversal, golly, it just hadn't transpired yet. So we haven't finished this correction yet, although this 3-wave down, but it did make a lower low, so unclear at the moment on BA whether we've met the bottom or not. If we continue down below this here, we could see a lower low than back here. 92 could be in the cards. Shopify potentially bottomed here. We could see a little bit further downside to 60. If we get down that level, that might, depending on how you feel about whether this is going to be a prolonged thing or not, could be a nice opportunity for Shopify. Returning back up here. This looks like 5 up and a 3 retrace. That low, that high, and we're in the bottoming vicinity here. Let me set another alert there at 66. Reddit's probably coming on down. Imagine that. We're probably going to make a low lower than back here at the IPO. Be my guess. Anybody shocked by that? That went exactly the way. Look at that. It's a little bit of support, chopped around, and then flushed on down. Can't make this stuff up. We break below that line right there, we're coming on down here. Yeah, April 25th, you probably don't have enough time. This is not going to, I don't think we're going to resolve this baby fast anymore. I don't think we're coming back up with speed. NVO, flush outs. We're on the precipice of breaking something in the markets that's not going to be just fixable. It took us a long time to come out of the great financial crisis. Pepsi potentially down to a 3-wave retrace. Let's see, Coca-Cola potentially going to pop out. Monster. This isn't a red one. This is a watermelon one, by the way. It's actually not red. And it's red and green. That's why it's clear. It's the green. Anyway. Well, that's not Monster. MNST. Monster. That's working on a breakout. Celsius. Hey, Charlie. Welcome to the scary morning. Celsius looks like we're going to pop. I'm still long shares. And other beverages. I think I got them all. All the ones I know. Other stuff. Chipotle, potentially bottoming. Big opportunity there if we can hold it. Kava. Maybe. Might need an extra little flush there to retest the breakout back here. Yeah, it's opportunity if you have money, but maybe opportunity to go on down lower in the S&P. So, all right, everybody. I'm going to go start hunting for opportunities here. Bias for the day is extreme caution. That's what remember, we're getting close to that 50.88 level. Right here. Almost there. We can dip on up to 150, 125. First sign of weakness. This is probably going down. And it can be vicious and strong and fast. Faster than anything we've seen so far. Might trip breakers today. Very, very cautious. This setup is like a dangerous setup. All my warning lights going off right here. So we might see a giant 600-point flush in the markets here. Doesn't have to happen, but be very, very, very careful. This is a case where illiquidity, a liquidity problem can cause a giant downside. Don't get stuck in the fact we're green today. This can be a giant flush out. Yeah. Be time to deploy cash hopefully soon, but right now, very, very cautious that this is 5 down. This is 3 up. If we stop right here, and we're right at it too. We stop right in here. Oh, baby. Not going to be good. Now, looking at the S&P, this, we could have a little bit different numbers here. Could be looking for a rally up to here and a dump. Golly, man. Wicked. That 5 down. We don't really have the 3 up off of the low. So, just looking at the smaller one we were looking at on the S&P there. There's the line to be careful of right there. Could be 51.32, which kind of matches with the pushing it up just a little bit. 51. Yeah, maybe that 1382 right there. 51. So it's a very dangerous zone right here. That 618 right there. That whole drop. And we're coming up into that 3-wave retrace, but the 618 is the more important level. Put that on the low. So 5140, that corresponds with the, so right there. Don't, it's very critical. Don't be too early, but don't be late. Don't, if you wait for confirmation, you may miss it, and we just dump off and you can't buy anything. Don't chase it if we start down. Be careful. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow. I'll be in Discord, hanging out, trying to find opportunities, posting them as I play them. And be careful out there. The account you save may be your own. Could be a good time to think about some cash, maybe. Doesn't mean we won't rip from here, but we could definitely crash. So we have a potential crash setup forming. This could be complete in the next little bit here. If we stop, this all clear above probably 5,200 for today. Doesn't mean we won't set up something new and crash, but if we get above 5,200, could be an all clear for now. If we turn down right there, 5120 to 5140, very vicious indeed. Be careful out there. See you tomorrow.